live. Perfect. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for your time. Hope you guys had a great day today. If you guys went to church and you had a great day. All right. We want to continue the discussion we started a couple of days back, and the series has been so great. So thank you for your participation. Thank you for being part of this community and all that. Today I want to dwell on a topic that kind of sums up everything we've been dealing with. We've been dealing with understanding when to leave a place, when you've outgrown a place, why good people stay in a place for too long. We've dealt with a couple of topics in this series. Today, we want to focus on understanding the season you're in. This kind of sums everything up. It wraps up everything, because this will tell you when to leave and when to stay. Understanding the season you're in. I can add, so you can make the right growth decisions. Let me start today with something very honest. Thank you for those that are joining us live. So please let us know where you're joining from. And thank you to those that will watch this later. Thank you too. Let me start with something very honest here. Many people are not confused about life. We've said that number of times on this channel. Many people are not confused about life. They are confused about the season they are in. They're confused about the season they are in. That's why they feel pulled in different directions. Have you heard somebody say, "Oh, I feel as if I'm being pulled on all directions"? Yeah, that's why they feel pulled in different directions. That's why they don't know whether to stay or to leave. Now you're in a place. Sometimes you've outgrown the place. Sometimes you've not outgrown the place. But you don't just know whether to stay or to leave. All right? And making decisions feels very heavy because of this. Making decisions feels very heavy because of this. They're trying to make growth decision without first understanding where they are. Like I did say from the beginning of this year, we focus on honesty. And we did say honesty is making you understand exactly where you are. Understanding exactly where you are. All right? And if you're trying to make growth decision without first understanding where you are in life, that is very dangerous, I must say. That's very dangerous. Because the decision... Hello, Joshua Andrews. Thanks for joining. Because the decision that is right in one season can destroy you in another season. Hello, Jessica. Thanks for joining. Some of you are praying for answers when what you need is discernment. I'll take that again. Some people are praying for answers when what they need is actually discernment and not answer. Not even about the future, but about today, about the present. Hello, Jessica. Hi. Because once you understand the season you're in, once the season becomes clear, your next step becomes clearer. Now, your next step becomes clearer, not easier. I didn't say easier. When you understand the season you're in, your next step becomes clearer. Now, like every message I do give on this channel, why does this message matter? Why does it matter today? Why does it matter? I'm having this conversation because I've watched too many good people. Either they quit too early, or they stay too long, or they force fruit in the wrong season, or they endure what was meant to be released, or they leave what was meant to shape them. Right? I said that during the live yesterday, that good people, there are times good people stay in a place too late. There are times good people stay in a place too early. Now, Why does this happen? And one thing that good people tend to do, they start to blame themselves. They say things like, maybe I'm lazy, maybe I'm ungrateful, maybe something's wrong with me. But nothing was wrong with them. Nothing at all was wrong with them. Hello, Xavier. Thanks for joining. Thank you. Nothing was wrong with them. They just misread the season. They misread the season. Growth decision, which has been our main topic for a very long time, is they are not just about courage. We did say growth decisions, they are not about courage, they're about timing. They're about timing, all right? And timing requires awareness. Timing requires awareness. All right, let's start with this today. What is a season? Somebody might want to ask me, you might want to say, hey, Matt, okay, what do you call a season? You're talking about understanding the different seasons of our lives. What do you call a season? Let's define this clearly. A season is not a year. No, a season is not a calendar year. And I've said in this channel, like from last year, that the change of the calendar doesn't change anything because that is man-made. Going from 2025 to 2026 doesn't change anything. All right? If you don't have a plan, you're still not going to have a plan in 2026. If you're not a planner, you're still going to continue your life like that. All right. A season is not a year. A season is not an age. A season is not a calendar date. A season is not a year. It's not an age. It's not a calendar date. All right? A season is a purposeful period of development. A season is a purposeful period of development. What do I mean by that? Every season has a role. Every season has a lesson. Every season has a demand. Every season has a purpose. And every season has an expiration. Every season has a role, a lesson, demand, or purpose, and an expiration. Seasons are not meant to be permanent. No, seasons are not meant to be permanent. The danger is not understanding when season change, or it's not in season changing, but the danger is in you refusing to change with the season. Like we did say, seasons are not supposed to be permanent, seasons are supposed to change, but the danger is not in season changing. The danger is in you as a person refusing to change with the season. Now, why do people even miss their seasons? You might want to ask me, Matt, why do people miss their season? People miss their season because, one, they are emotionally attached. They are emotionally attached. We did talk about this when we talk about living a place that you've outgrown. You've grown bigger than a place, either a job, either a relationship, whatever it is, a community, a place of worship that you've grown, and you still remain there. There are times you leave, then you're still emotionally connected to that place, all right? People miss their season because, one, they're emotionally attached. Oh, I love this season of my life. I love this season, so I'm going to remain here. Or they are afraid of loss. Now, when we talk about people afraid of loss, it's simply because of familiarity. We did say human tend to go to what is known. What is not known, what is not seen, what is promised, it's not a big thing to go for. Everyone tends to go for what is known. So familiarity becomes a problem. Yesterday, the title of our live yesterday is When Familiarity Becomes an Enemy of Growth. Right, that was the title yesterday. So please, if you have not seen that, go to our channel. We have lots of lives that happens every day. You will love what we talked about yesterday. So people miss their season because they are afraid of loss. People miss their season because they confuse loyalty with calling. We talked about loyalty too, all right? That is still one of the videos we talked about. People miss their season because they think staying longer equals faithfulness. In one of the videos I did on the live, I did say that I used to think that staying longer equals faithfulness. Hey, thank you so much. Rob, you're asking where I'm from. I'm from Canada. Staying longer equals faithfulness, but they fear, because people also miss their season because they fear being misunderstood. They fear being misunderstood. They are thinking, if I make a change, people will think that I am not loyal. All right, so people fear being misunderstood. And seasons don't announce themselves loudly. No, it's not like winter, summer, fall, that you have a date to it. No, seasons, they shift quietly. The change in season is very, very subtle. They shift quietly. your appetite changes. Now, when your season is shifting, your appetite changes. Your tolerance changes. Your excitement fades. Your questions deepen. And if you ignore these signals, you try to force productivity out of a season that has already ended. Yesterday we talked about signals coming to you, different kind of signals. All right. If you decide to just forget about the signal and just move on, you'll be trying to force productivity on from a season that already ended. Now let's talk about the different seasons. These are not the only seasons. Like I always say on my life, these are not the only point, but these are the pointers I was able to bring together from different materials. Season number one, I call it the building season. The building season. This is a season of foundation. In this season, you are learning. You are inexperienced. You're making mistakes. You're stretching. All right. So this is called the building season. The season number one. This season feels uncomfortable. This season feels humbling. This season feels slow. This season feels uncertain. In this season, you don't have much control, but you gain competence. This is where patience is required. The foundation. Patience is required here. Many people leave this season too early because they mistake difficulty for misalignment. A lot of people leave this season because, please don't miss me here. Just stay with me. A lot of people miss this season too early because they mistake difficulty for misalignment. This is the foundation. But hard does not always mean wrong. No, hard does not always mean wrong. Leaving this season early creates fragility later. Leaving this season early creates fragility later. All right. So let's take an example here. I did write down an example in career building. Let's say in your place of work, someone starts a role. They're overwhelmed. They get overwhelmed. They feel inadequate. They feel stretched, and they say things like, "This must not be for me." Yeah, I'm in this role. I'm feeling inadequate. I'm feeling overwhelmed. This must not be for me. But the truth is, it is actually for them. They are just being built. They are just undergoing the season of being built. Growth here looks like discomfort, not confidence. Growth here looks like discomfort, not confidence. Living now doesn't protect them, it delays them. So if somebody is in this season and is thinking, oh, growth is discomfort, if he leaves, what he's going to find is that he doesn't get protected, he has just added delay to his journey. Now let's go to season number two. The season number two is what I call the endurance season. This season is about character. This is where character is built. This is where character is built. All right. Thank you, Joshua. Thank you for that. Things don't move fast in this season. Things don't move fast here. Results are delayed. Progress feels invisible. In this season, you are being tested. You're tested for consistency. You tested for integrity. You tested for patience. All right. You tested for emotional maturity in this season. This season shapes your inner life. This season shapes your inner life. But hear this clearly, my friends. Endurance seasons are not permanent. No. Endurance seasons are not permanent. They refine you. They do not define your future. I'll take that again for interest so that you can hear that clearly. Endurance seasons are not permanent. They refine you, but so that you can, you know what, they help you, they refine you and help you shape your future. All right. Staying too long here turns endurance into stagnation. Staying too long here turns endurance into stagnation. So let's go to season number three. The fruitful season is what I call this, the fruitful season. This is when things start to work. This is a season where things start to work. In this season, you are effective, you're confident, you're productive, you start seeing results, right? You start seeing results. This is where many people get comfortable. They stop listening, they stop adjusting. They assume this is the final destination. But fruitfulness is not permanence. This season requires humility because comfort is where people where people stop paying attention to the subtle signs of change. Comfort is where people stop paying attention to the subtle signs of change. Season number 4, the pruning season. The pruning season. This is a season nobody wants. This is a season nobody wants. Things are removed. Accesses changes. All right? Roles shift. Relationships evolve in this season. It feels like a loss, actually. This season feels like a loss. But pruning is not punishment. It is preparation. Pruning is not punishment. Pruning is preparation. Now, if you fight pruning, you delay the next season. If you fight pruning today, you're going to delay the next season. And if you embrace pruning, you grow lighter and clearer. And we did say that the reason for trying to understand the season we are in is for the purpose of clarity, so that we know what to do next in our growth journey. We know how to make the next change in our growth journey. What decision do I need to make next? You're like, hey, Matt, I'm at this point now. I need to go forward. Now, the question now becomes, do you know where you're standing right now? If you know where you're standing right now, then you know exactly what season you're in, then what is the next change that you need to make. Now, let's go to season number 5. Season number 5, I call it the transition season. This is the most confusing season. Please listen, friends. This is the most confusing season. You're no longer where you are, but you're not yet where you're going. So it's as if you're in between two spots, where you were and where you're going. So you're no longer where you were, and now you're not yet where you're going to. You're transitioning. You're in between. That's why this is the most confusing season. Now, old things don't fit here anymore. Old things no longer fit. New things are not clear. So you're in between. Old things don't fit. New things are not clear. All right? This is where people panic. People start panicking at this point because, oh, I used to know this, but right now, this thing that I know is no longer working. And where I'm going to, it's not yet clear. So I'm transitioning. I'm in between. This is season number 5. I call it the transition season. This is where people panic. People rush. Now they start to force decisions. This is what you're supposed to even look through, study through. You no longer look at it through anymore because you are in a point where you need answers now. What you know is no longer working, and where you're going is not clear. So you're thinking, what am I doing? Am I making a mistake? Is this shift, is this transition right? Did I make the right decision? Did I even understand my seasons before I made this move? In this time, people burn bridges. Oh, I did talk about in the live yesterday, I talk about a case where you've moved from a point because you have grown bigger than that room. You're moving to another point, and one of the things you don't need to do is burning bridges backwards. The reason why you don't need to do that is because you might need that. And even if you don't need that, you want to go forward knowing that I helped build that, right? If you give your time to something and you're moving to something else, you don't burn what you gave your time to. If you do that, you're burning a part of yourself. But when people are at this point of transitioning, this is where they get confused. They tend to burn bridges more because they're like, oh, this thing is no longer working and I'm not where I'm going to. So the best thing is just set that on fire, right? But transitioning is not failure, my friends. Transitioning is not failure. Transitioning is actually repositioning. Another word for transitioning is repositioning. Now, one big thing about the different seasons is that clarity in this season comes from stillness. Clarity in this season comes from a clear head, not speed. So in the season of transitioning, what you need is not speed. It's not how fast you transition. No, it is how fast you're able to sit down and think about where you're going to. So clarity in this season comes from stillness, not from speed. Now you may want to ask me, hey Matt, how do I discern the season I'm currently in now? You're talking about seasons. How do I discern the season? How do I know what season I'm in? I don't know anything about seasons. Now ask yourself this question slowly. What is this season demanding of me? What is this season? For you to be able to discern the season you're in right now, anybody can do that. Ask yourself this question slowly. What is this season demanding of me? Another question is, am I learning? Am I enduring? Am I producing? Am I releasing? Or am I repositioning? Which of them? Where am I? Right? Is this season expanding me or exhausting me? Am I being expanded or I'm being exhausted? All right? What keeps repeating no matter how hard I try? These are questions you need to ask. Now, why did I say you should ask this question? These questions, why? The reason is that patterns reveal season. Get that clear. Patterns reveal season. We talked about patterns a lot during the transitioning end of year message from last year to this year. So if you have not seen that, please go check my YouTube channel. By the way, if you have not subscribed to our channel, please kindly subscribe. We have a lot of resources in terms of videos and lives and shorts that you can watch. All right. Patterns reveal season. Emotions doesn't reveal season. Fear doesn't reveal season. Pressure doesn't reveal season. The only thing that reveals a season to you is patterns. Now, you must be able to understand, when you ask yourself this question, what is this season demanding of me? What am I learning anything in this season? Am I enduring this season? Am I producing something in this season? Am I releasing or am I repositioning? All right, that will tell you the season you're in your life. Is this season expanding you or is this season is exhausting you? Now, a very big part is the part of repetition. What keeps repeating itself no matter how hard I try? If you've listened to the series I did on this growth part for this year, you will get all this coming from those videos. So please, if you've not subscribed to this channel, kindly subscribe and go listen to those series. All right, like I did say, patterns. The only thing that will tell you the season of life you are in today are the patterns, or the pattern of your life. Emotions will not tell you, so don't think about it. Prayers will not tell you the season you're in. So don't get carried away by, oh, I need to go pray, I need to go to a mountain. No. This is not the time for that. What you need to understand is, what are my patterns? What patterns do I have? So what patterns have I been following? That will tell you exactly where you're going to. Patterns. All right. Now let me leave you with this. The right question to ask is not, what do I want next? No, what do I want next? The real question is, what season am I in right now? That is the real question you need to ask. What season am I in right now? And what is this season asking of me? Like I did say, I'll take this again. It is not time to start asking yourself, what do I want next? No. That is, you're not working on being, you're working on having. We talked about be, do, have. When I was talking about frameworks, right? If you can still remember, those that have watched the video, when I was talking about framework, we started with a framework called be, do, have. If you ask the question that says, what do I want next? That is having. You are actually working out of the order. What you need to work out, what you need to look out for is being. All right. So what you should be saying is, what season am I in right now? What season am I in right now? That's the first riddle you need to solve. To move forward from this season, you need to know what season you're in. That's where honesty comes into place. You're going to say, hey, Matt, this is not with you. This is not with anyone. I'm going to ask myself, Matt is going to ask Matt to say, hey, Matt, what season am I in right now? What season of my life am I in right now? That is the right question to ask, because that question will help me become. I'm not asking the question to have. Like we did say, having will always come to being, but you have to be first. You don't need to have first. So instead of saying, oh, what do I need right now? It is, what season am I in right now? Because once you understand your season, once your season is understood, you stop making emotional decisions. You stop making decisions out of emotions. You stop making the decisions out of everything that goes. No. You start making wise decisions. Wise decisions. And wisdom doesn't rush. Or wisdom doesn't rush. Wisdom listens. Wisdom doesn't rush. It listens. So before you make decisions going forward, whether you want to buy stuff, you want to do stuff. If you watch my videos, most of the time I do say, you don't panic buy. You don't buy because things are sold in credit. You don't buy because Costco is selling credit. You don't buy because Walmart is selling credit. My name is not on credit. Why should I buy? All right? Is it the right thing to buy? So the kind of questions that you need to ask. Now, in this case, is what season am I in? In this my life, what season am I in? Because this will help me make the right decisions going forward. And I did say wisdom don't rush. Wisdom sits down and listen. If this message spoke to you, don't rush away, please. I've done about 8 messages on this series, 8 lives. So please, kindly subscribe to this channel. You go watch those series. There are a lot of lives on that. There are videos, there are shorts that I've done on my channel that will definitely help you. If you think, oh, there's something, Matt, you want to talk about with me, or you listen to one video and you feel like this is not true, please write whatever you write there on the comment. I read it every day, so I'll definitely get in touch with you. But if this message spoke to you, if this message resonates with you, don't rush away. Understanding the season you're in is a major message for everyone. Everybody needs to understand the season they are in so that they're able to make the right growth decision going forward. All right? Sit with this message, journal honestly, reflect deeply. This space exists to help you grow wisely, not impulsively. Thank you so much, friends, for your time. Thank you for your support. I'll be leaving now. I'll catch you guys later in the evening. Bye for now. Matt Miller signing out. Bye.